Humans of the cardboard. I just woke up. I just realized that we actually got our VJUMP promo revealed late last night. That is the PERFORMAPAL monster we saw, at least artwork for a couple weeks ago. Kind of cool to see because we did get some other, we got at least the PERFORMAPAL support. I guess they don't mix that well, but hopefully this card's a little bit interesting. A lot of people seem to really like her design. She looks cool. She does have a freaking spade on her hat, which is kind of interesting because one of the new archetypes from the new deck build pack is actually like a Queen of Hearts, you know what I mean, type deck. She even has, she has the heart, she has the diamond, she has some clubs up here too. Is that like a thing for PERFORMAPALs? Do they are they themed around like a deck of cards? I have no idea, honestly, but let's just see if this card's actually decent to begin with. So obviously this is a level 5 wind spellcaster effect monster, 2000 attack, 1500 defense. Let's get into this. You can only use each effect of her 3 effects once per turn each. That's a good start. If you control a continuous spell, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay. Not bad. Pretty easy condition to meet. Do pendulum monsters count as continuous spells? I don't know the ruling on that as far as something like this. If this card's able to recognize them as continuous spells, because that might make this a little bit more flexible, a little bit easier, and also just maybe a couple more decks are definitely able to take advantage of this. We'll see. Second effect of this card is special summoned from the hand specifically, so I'm assuming that's just always its own effect. I can't imagine too many scenarios where you're summoning this from the hand via another route other than its own effect, but whatever. You can send one level 4 or lower light spellcaster monster from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, we got a Foolish Burial effect. Now it is a pretty specific one. It's light spellcaster, and it's only level 4 or lower, but I think that actually might be something. Let's see, I actually saw this last night. I knew I wasn't going to be able to make a video, so I actually wrote down a couple of options that I thought were kind of interesting. Anyway, last effect. If this face-up card leaves the field, period, to target one spell or trap on the field, destroy it. Nice. Okay, that's a nice little bonus effect. I actually like that. I like that it just leaves the field. Just leaves the field, however, in any way. So you can link it off, you can synchro it off. If it's just removed by your opponent, it leaves the field too. So even if it gets banished face up, I believe it should still be able to trigger and banish some or pop a back row. That's kind of cool. Yeah. All in all, decent card. It's one of those cards where, right this second, is it incredible? No, not really. Jumps out of the hand relatively easily. Gives you a bonus effect on summon. It gives you a type of Foolish Burial effect, which tend to be decent. I don't think it's the best effect we've ever seen on a card, but it's extra value. And the third effect giving you a little bit of spot back removal. That's just icing on the cake. That's your little bonus effect. I think all in all, it's actually a pretty solid card. I think they mention it here. Yes, she does work with Magician Girl support. So her name is PERFORMAPAL Sky Magician Girl. And I believe they're saying off the translation, this isn't just like a wonky translation, and once it comes to English, it should be different. I think they're saying it theoretically, it should count as a Magician Girl, which is kind of interesting, right? I believe Magician Girls have a Stratos that searches for other Magician Girls, so that's a little bonus there. But all in all, I think it's an interesting card. I think it's one of those cards that we get every once in a while where I go, that's a good card. Do we have an archetype that this card has a home in? That's the bigger question, right? My guess is she's supposed to work with some of the new Perform Mage stuff because she is level 5 with the new Perform Mage support. Those cards actually utilize rank 5s, so she's a level 5 body. If just having any pendulum monster in scale makes this card live, then this card would be very, very easy to make live as an extender, right? You summon it, you send either one of the perform mages, either Damage Juggler or Trick Clown probably, and get free value off of that. As well as when this card leaves the field, getting you a little extra value. So I think this card actually is a decent card. I don't know if that's the home for it. I don't know if it's quite worth it just yet. But I think in a vacuum, it's a good card. Maybe we need to see, maybe if we're talking about, we've been talking about for a couple months now, Magistus is going to be the new OCG lore theme that they're going to push out, like they did with Sky Striker. We got one new fusion monster, but they're probably going to get more stuff as we go. They have light spellcaster access. Like, do they just get some good graveyard synergy there? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it's a card that I'd keep an eye on if you like this card a lot and you tend to like some of the archetypes that this card has like a little bit of synergy with. I would just scoop it as soon as it drops, just so you have it, because this is the kind of card where just like a while down the line, it just, oh, they made a really insane wave of support for Magistus, Perform Mage, whatever, and now this card's like immediately like super, super interesting, right? As far as the options that I thought were the most interesting from, as far as being your light spellcasters that are level 4 or lower worth dumping, you have Riliona, the Magistus of Ver. She's the Stratos for Magistus. Not that Foolish Burrowing her is the most insane thing, but I also thought, since that's one of the very few archetypes that I had thought of that does get monsters into the spell and trap zone via its engine as continuous spells. So it makes this card live as an extender pretty easily as an archetype, while also having its main Stratos be a light spellcaster to Foolish Burial off of this card. So I thought there was pretty good synergy there already. That could definitely be one to consider, especially, like I said, going forward. As they get more support, does that support actually tailor to this card and make this card better? Definitely could. I also mentioned Perform Mages, Damage Juggler to be able to search the Hat Tricker, or just straight up sending Trick Clown and then Trick Clown reborning himself. Kind of cool. In that scenario, it does irk me a little bit that this is level 5. I just kind of wish this was level 4. Like, I really do. Oh, I guess you could pen summon this. I was trying to think, like, what other way could you special this from hand that isn't its own effect? But I guess you could pen summon this. That's fair. That's fair enough. Yeah, it being level 5 was a little bit weird, because, like, you're only sending level 4 or lower, so we could be sending Trick Clown, we could be sending Damage Juggler to get Hat Tricker, but in both those scenarios, you're getting a level 4 to pair with this level 5, and nothing's a tuner in that scenario, which is a little bit clunky, but I don't know. It's still value. Next up, Jaugen the Spiritualist. Not that this one's insane, but if you can just send Jaugen, and then maybe, for example, you can set up Selene, you can just reborn Jaugen, and then there you go. That's pretty strong. And the last one is Fairy Tale Snow. This card is still banned for us, but as power creep goes further and further, I would not be surprised if we see, you know what I mean, Fairy Tale Snow come off the ban list a couple years down the line. So this one just has a direct insane value once you get it in rotation, and that's exactly what this card does. So I would not be super shocked if that would be something people would mess around with as well. Those are really the only options. Not a ton of stuff here, and I just skimmed basically through all the level 4 lower light spellcasters, but those were the ones that kind of popped out at me as the most intriguing. But I don't know, maybe there's something else. Let me know if you think there's anything else that's interesting. But yeah, all in all, interesting card. Actually a little bit better than I was expecting, to be honest. Like, this is definitely a card worth scooping early just to have for when it maybe comes through as like an actual option for a deck, just based on new future support unlocking it. But yeah, I really like that. All right, that sums us up for today. I don't know if we're going to get any more news actually today, because technically this is yesterday's news. I'm just a little late on it. Apologies for that. But this week we should be getting the reveals for Infinite Forbidden. So everything that we don't know from that set, we're going to have at least by the end of the week. This weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if there are like actual like Rage of the Abyss reveals and everything else going through this week as well. So should be a pretty heavy week. I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited to bring you anything news that drops. So if you want to stay up to date on all things Yu-Gi-Oh! News, let me know and what you're excited for, what you think about this card, and subscribe to the channel, please. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Peace.